kweli sababu.
Just a minute. Kindly identify yourself if you are from the media before taking photos.
Na washukiwa huko pale. Ni kweli.
Hiyo swali.
Kama hazingekuwa zako, ungeweza kusaini hiyo karatasi zako. Zingelikuwa sio zako, ungesaini hiyo karatasi. Ungekuja pande ya kwako.
Amekujibu?
Tukujua ni gani.
Hiyo maswali ulitosha.
Unajua kama walitishiwa?
Hakuna kutishiwa. Kusaini ni ulazimishwi. Unaweza kataa ama ukubali.
Na unaweza enda pale kwa forensic ukafanya uchunguzi zaidi kuweza ukapata ushahidi kuwa washukiwa itapatikana na silaha hiyo hapo.
Ilipatikana na
Did you visit the video?
Sio mimi, sio mwenye kesi.
Sema tu ndio ula. Kama kawaida panga inauzwa mahali popote, sio ati ni specific na watu fulani inaweza uziwa kwa mtu wako. Kwa hivyo nikisema ni kweli maafisa wale waliweza kununua panga zile kwa kuwa wakuchukua picha yote pale mnazopata nazo itakuwa ndani.
Kuna siku unanunua panga unapiga picha.
Swali ni kwamba akikueleza kwamba maofisa walinunua hizo panga ndio wawekelee kesi, utasema nini?
Wengine walishtakiwa na kupatikana na pombe. So walikuwa wamama, wale walikuwa wanawauzia pombe.
Wamama pekee yake.
Si wale walikuwa mmetana na wao na nimewataja majina.
Kulikuwa na wamama wanne wa wasichana wanne.
Amesema ni wamama.
Kuna yeyote kati yao ni mshahidi kudhibitisha ni ukweli unasema ama wale wawili wako wanahitajika walikuwa wengine.
Wale wengine wangeandika tu same statement. So ndio maana walichukua wawili wakatoa ushahidi because wangeandika tu soma statement.
Ulielezewa ama ulishuhudia?
Sikushuhudia sababu mimi sio mwenyekiti.
Ulielezewa?
Sijaelezewa. Naweza kusoma statement ya mwenye alikuwa ana investigate kesi.
Umesema kuwa ni maskari wangapi waliweza kurate hapo kwa hiyo illicit brief?
Walikuwa wengi.
Lakini
sina ufahamu sababu zililetwa na Aura. Ulitosha kuuliza Aura wakati alikuwa amezileta.
Sasa lingine la mwisho ni unasema kuwa mlishika watu wangapi?
Na kuna madam anaitwa Evelyn Emali. Alafu kuna Makomere.
Hapo pale wakashika hao watu 8. Kama afisa ambaye amehitimu katika kazi yake, hao wengine ambao uliwachilia si walikuwa pia wanapaswa kuwa washahidi katika hii kesi?
Kesi mnakumbuka ni kesi ndio? Ila kwa na 11,000 na hiyo hapo na 10. Watu wengi wamekuja kwa timu. Wako wapi? Au wewe unaweza sema uko na 10 uko na tena.
You will be able to see that one person is new from
Who is not there?
that is the first respondent, Alan Machine.
Alan Machine is not yet.
Yes, and you'll be able to make an application on that.
Just a minute.
Zubeto, my colleague Mr. Omondi. Mr. Omondi.
Mr. Omondi.
For the first respondent.
We have let us pass the record straight. Because it's in the matter.
that matter in Mungo, I do appear for the second, third, and fourth respondents. I shall be assisted by
Second.
Mr.
You are the Karanja.
Yes, Mr. Karanja for the second, third, and fourth respondents.
Wait, wait.
6th and 7th respondent.
So we have Mr. Roberto, Momoni, and
Into the matter for which we appeared before the Honorable Court on the 25th of March 2024, seeking for 21 days, we were given 14 days for the completion of those investigations, and forwarded the file to the ODPP via a letter.
Just a minute, and forwarded
the file for advice to the ODPP.
Yes.
The
By the letter.
Homicide Division. I have also Inspector Frederick Kossen, who presented that application on the 25th of March 2024. If the court would wish to hear from me, it's before court. That is all. Those are the directives of the ODPP as of this morning. So, in our case now, therefore, the IO is here.
Currently, I'm attached at DCI performing general investigations. Your Honor, I wish to close a miscellaneous application dated 25th March 2024, which I saw before this court, that I did the investigation and forwarded the file to the homicide. Who then forwarded the same file to the ODPP. So, Your Honor, I wish to close the application, the miscellaneous application. That's all, Your Honor.
Application. I observed the application both the DPP and my colleagues. The application is dated the application is to have this amount of vehicle that belongs to the We have attached a copy of the logbook. The same was detained for purposes of taking photographs. That motor vehicle is also released. That is KDK 788. Very well, Your Honor. Your Honor, that application was filed through the e-filing platform. I don't know whether
you can wait for that application. We do not have the application at this clip.
I had served it also on the court assistant. I don't know whether.
The application is not in the court. So I think the best way you can download it if it is part of the
Correspondence.
The issue before court is
Those are
For helping court create the jurisprudence. You know, that the reason why I'm saying, and the application before this court was on the custody of the respondents. Your Honor, court ordered that they be brought to this court today so that we would hear from the prosecution side on what they have decided. However, Your Honor, you have seen the pressure that I've had since morning when I came before you. That even if they have preferred a charge, and there was an order of this court that they be brought to this court so that they would be able to explain to court whatever they found. You know, we find it quite amazing that they had decided on a charge and took him to a different court while we are waiting to hear the conclusion of the investigation. You know, the family of the first respondent would want to raise that they are so disappointed on how the prosecution have handled this matter. And also to go on record, Your Honor, is that on criminal justice system, it does not begin in court. It begins with the investigation. You know, you're being treated to a sham today whereby they want to explain to you that they've already done their work and preferred a charge. They have discharged other people and decided that other people are to be charged. You know, it is our submission today that this court has power and could have
there is no evidence. That is an injustice, Your Honor, that is irreparable, that cannot be remedied. We've not even had even an attempt to tender an apology. The homicide team, and I know this for a fact because my clients were contacted, the homicide team from Kiambu Road said after they conducted the investigation, there was not even the most basic of evidence. Yes. So let me. Yes. So the point I'm trying to make is this. Yes. That going forward, that conduct should be condemned by the DCI, so that they stop undermining our constitution, Your Honor. Thank you.
Just one thing to add, Your Honor, because I am.
There was an offense that was committed. The prosecutor did not just bring an application just for the purpose of wasting cost time or even deny the respondents their rights. An offense had been committed. You have to agree to that. And the police had the right to go and do the investigations, which investigations have been done. And respondent number 1, number 2 to number 7 have been found not to be culpable. Now, today, the same respondent number 1 was supposed to be presented before court in Kiambu to take the plea. It was not possible for him to be in court today, at the same time to be in Kiambu to take the plea. But if the court so orders, you can wait until they finish their plea, take a plea in Kiambu, and then we come and proceed and close this application. But that one, of course, will cause delays. As you can see, most of the advocates for the responses are not opposed to us closing our application. And I don't think there is any reason why this application should not be closed today. Because we have,
yes. Let me, you know, as I began, I say, as officers of court, we can help court create a jurisprudence. What I wanted to ask is that if they could have agreed today that they are charging a second court that we wanted to appeal, do we take this one to the other side, or this court had jurisdiction to hear up to the level where we are, that they were kept in custody, a report was brought.
If you insist, then we will wait until it's presented.
You know, for your direction, because for this we are assisting even for the jurisprudence.
I get you, where you're coming from.
If it's in your conscience and your discretion that you find that it doesn't hold any water, then we can close it. But if you think that if you create a jurisprudence that the prosecution one day would not behave the way they've done today, I don't want to keep my brothers in pendants, awaiting that I am making a complaint. I am asking that this court can create a jurisprudence, that one day they will be warned not to do the same thing they have done today to another person, because we are helping the nation.
So what you're thinking is that this file should be closed?
Yes.
I have a charge.
You can present him. You have no
Yes.
issue.
As criminal case number E011, I don't know whether you've been searching alias Hype Valor. You have seen the charge sheet. Has been presented before PM.
Now that I have heard, and now I don't know whether he's already taken a plea the other side.
Give counsel this charge sheet, because I also
Yes.
just been given the same by Mr. Mutule.
We would agree principally that we close the file. Most obliging.
Hearing is now closed based on the prosecution's presentations in court, as well as the response from counsel for the respondents. So we are done with this file. We are thanked as official. It is in the application by they are treated as a...
No, they did not make a formal application. They just said they want to close. But I think for avoidance of doubt,
Yes.
could you kindly, could the record reflect, Your Honor, that you have discharged?
Hiyo watu ya makelele pia warudi hapa.
Let them be discharged. There was a custodial order. Your Honor, can that order that you made on 25th
Just a
be
minute.
ordered?
Mr. Nganga, yangu imeisha. Nimemaliza.
Lakini wametoka, sio?
I thought we have been submitting. You want us to be in court throughout? Mupatia mawakili kazi ingine ya hii imeisha.
It is a sad day. Let me first begin by introducing myself. I'm Otiende Omondi, appearing in this matter for the first respondent, who is Alan Ochieng, also known as Sing today, is that you've seen the sham that has been done in this court. Because, remember when we were here on 25th, we had seen what they had already done. There has been a social media campaign raised by the other respondents and the police at large. Initially, you would see that the first respondent, Mr. Alan Ochieng, also known as Balo, was characterized as the bouncer. Therefore, at that particular time when we saw that, we raised an issue that when you characterize an hyper as a bouncer, then definitely you've already skewed the investigation that you do. It is also important to note that criminal justice system does not begin in court. Many people only come to court to cleanse those who are culpable.
First of all, let me say that I'm very sorry for the family of the late, is called who, the officer? The family of the late, that he met his life untimely, but we are afraid that he will never get justice, because what you are seeing today is already a sham. You are being treated to a sham as a nation, whereby you would see that those who would help the family of the late to get their right and justice are already released and have already been turned to be the state witnesses. Therefore, we are afraid that when you talk of public interest, it does not mean that you arrest anyone and then you treat the public with a sham, and then you release some people and you look for. First of all, it is important to note that one who has been charged today is charged because of his poverty. He comes from Kibera. That was what we can speak. It means that if you don't have money in this country, then even investigation does not stand with you. That is what we want to raise. And with that, I would let the other council also to speak before I invite our senior.
Ladies, a moment. We wish to reiterate this position as the team for the representation of the first respondent. My name is Ms. Angano, appearing alongside my senior here. But what we would want to say is that we put it in record for the entire country, for the entire justice system, that the letter and spirit of the Constitution under Article 49 should be adhered to everyone. And the framers of our Constitution did not arrive to this decision and to this article for specified person. Our client, who has now been left in the course of this justice system, has been put in that situation because of so many factors, which will probably dealt with them later. But what we really want to put across in this moment is that we need to adhere to the letter and spirit of the Constitution. Let us not be swayed by the matter of public opinion and public interest. Let us push the Constitution to the core, and whatever is the outcome of this situation is that we are going to push and to make sure that we serve justice, not just to our client and to the victims, situation, but for the rest of the country, so that each and every one of us can be able to know that whenever you have an issue, you are being put across to the proper justice system. My senior has reiterated that the criminal procedure is not just the court situation. The criminal procedure starts with the complaint, then there's the most important investigation point that the police, the DCI, and all the required entity are supposed to adhere to, so that they can be able to come out with an investigation that can be able to be put across court, so that this person can put the defense and be able to be charged, and each and every one of us will look at it from the face of it, that indeed this person was gone through the criminal justice system. But if the process has been flawed, me and you know that we cannot say that the decision that will be achieved at, or rather reached at, once a flawed system has been occurred, can be good. We know all the situation, we know all the circumstances, and we are going to team up to prepare and to make sure that this process has gone through the required situation, and we come up with the proper justice system for both parties. Thank you so much.
The first respondent is concerned by giving a disclaimer. This matter is still very much alive, and we are doing this within the context of giving information to the public, because then information must circulate. And we want to encourage the media. You had picked this issue from the get-go, when all the 7 parties were presented in court as respondents. As you're aware now, 6 of them have been discharged. We are going to expect the media to give this matter the same attention it was giving before, when we had the 6 respondents. I say that because we have seen a pattern that has been orchestrated. In that sense, I associate myself with what my colleagues have said. In the first instance, when our client, now the accused person in this matter, was arrested, he was blatantly beaten up. And he was the only one who was beaten up among the 7 respondents. Secondly, he was detained separately at Kabete police station, while the other 3 were detained at Mudangari, and the other 3 detained at rerouter. So we already saw that there was a common thread to isolate our client, the accused person in this matter, and place the blame and the responsibility on it. And you can see also, it was also circulated around that he was a bouncer. Now you have seen, if you've heard about the information sheet that has been presented in court, he has been properly captured as an alias, the hype man. He has always been a hype man, he is not a bouncer, and we want the record to be set very clear as far as this issue is concerned. We shall continue to evaluate the evidence that the prosecution is relying on. As you've seen, the prosecution has already even contradicted itself here, while it is still sticking on the phones of the so-called witnesses. It is still sticking on the vehicle belonging to the so-called witnesses, and at the same time, alleging that these are state witnesses. So we can already see a lot of contradictions in this matter. Of course, we do not want to canvass this matter in the public domain. We respect the process. Shortly, we are going to rush before the High Court, Superior Court in Kiambu, where our client will be arraigned as far as the matter, the plea taking is concerned. And we shall continue to ensure that we address the issues on a particular way. But we have confidence in the judicial system. We are aware that ultimately due process will be followed and our client will receive justice that he so deserves. So thank you very much, and we will continue to engage. I don't know if our family members want to.
Mimi ni mtetezi wa haki za kibinadamu na mwanaharakati. Nataka kutoa pole zangu kwa familia ya mwenda zake, lakini nahofia sana kwamba inaonekana kwamba hatutapata haki. Tayari kuna dhana potovu ambazo tumeona kwenye koti hii. Tumeona kwamba tunabaguliwa. Ala ni mtoto ambaye nimemlea wakati mama yake aliaga. Ni mtoto ambaye amekuwa kwa mkono ya jamii. So tunaona kwamba tayari tunabaguliwa kwa sababu sisi hatujiwezi. Sisi hatujulikani. Dhana la kusema kwamba Alan alikuwa bouncer ambayo imekubaliwa na kila mtu, ili hali tunajua sisi wote mpaka vyombo vya habari vimempeleka kwenye station na hakuwa bouncer. So inakuwaje leo kwamba yeye ni bouncer? Ya pili, wanashikwa wote. Katiba ni wazi kwamba you are not guilty until proven. Mnashikwa kwa sababu mnashukiwa, alafu wengine wanateuliwa na wenzao. Yeye anapelekwa kwenye cell tofauti, wale wengine wanapelekwa kwenye cell tofauti. Nataka pia kusema mimi najua haki zangu msingi. We have right to information. Mimi kama mtu ambaye niko karibu sana na Balo, nafika hapa nikitarajia kwamba atakuwa arraigned in court. Kisha nasikia sijui amepelekwa wapi, na huuliza hakuna mtu ananiongelesha, hakuna mtu ananipatia majibu. Ninasikitika sana. Nasikitika sana, na ni bayana kwamba hapa kuna ukora, kuna utapeli, lakini sisi kama jamii na wanaharakati hatutanyamaza kimya na hatutaacha maovu itendeke tukiona. Tunaomba haki itendeke kwa familia ya mwenda zake, haki itendeke kwa Alan, na hata wale wanajiweza kwa vile wako na fedha pia wapate haki. Kama mtu amefanya makosa, tusiangalie akona nini, jina yake ni gani, akona pesa ngapi. Alan ni mtoto wa jamii, hatuna uwezo mkubwa, lakini tutatumia sauti zetu kueleza dunia nzima na Kenya kwamba tunataka haki kwake Balo. Asanteni sana.
Asanteni. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. So my name is Jacqueline Coyne. We are here as family and friends of the deceased officer, Inspector of Police, Felix Kintosi. We are here to follow this matter, and we have seen that we are not likely to get justice, because when the investigations, when the case is just beginning, and we hear that 6 of the 7 suspects have just been freed, and yet for people, it is important for people to know that we spoke to our kid before he died. He did not die immediately on the scene where he was beaten up. He was beaten up, arrested by police, taken to the cells, released the following day, and taken to hospital. And therefore we spoke to him. We actually know that he was beaten up by more than one person. And that the person that they are saying is the key suspect is a worker of one of the people who have just been freed. The officers, the police officers, were actually witnessing as the officer was being beaten up. And therefore to us, this is not the way to go. We feel like so much is being hidden, and justice should be seen to be served by the courts in Kenya, because we want justice for our kin. We want the death of our brother unraveled, and we really are seeking that the courts, you know, every person that was involved in his death is, you know, brought to book.
Kama